snowflakes in the sky. Santa Claus is coming to town. All the kids, they're jumping up and down. The holidays begin, and there's a new year coming in. People playing out in the park. There's a snowman smiling in the dark. Wishing you a very happy Christmas. And we hope you have a fabulous new year. Give the world a great big smile. And leave the little ones for a while. And have a very, very happy, happy Christmas.
Get ready to get inspired. This is the Go4TheGoldy podcast.
From the left coast, Aaron, how are we doing today?
Hey, good. How are you doing today?
Good, man. I'm doing very well. Thanks for coming on the show today. I know it's a Friday, but you're a little behind me, so it's not as late for you as it is for me.
Yeah, it's totally chill, man. I'm glad you invited me on. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So, a little background. First, how I came across Aaron. I know him better known as Pookie Butt. That's his Twitch handle. And when I first started getting into Twitch back in March, April, May, whenever the hell I started, he was one of the first people that came on the stream and was really positive and supportive. And with a name like Pookie Butt, you don't forget that, So I, we've just kind of been in contact, supporting each other's streams ever since. And I asked him to come on the show, and here he is. So I continue to harp on the fact that the Zwift community in specific, on Twitch is just such a cool community with so many cool people that you meet. I mean, I'm sure you've met a bunch of people too, and because we were just talking about it right before we started about how you just started this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome community. Honestly, I've been around some of the other Twitch communities and some of the other streaming communities on the internet, and they can be kind of toxic, but in Zwift it's all about checking out people and seeing just basically how hard they can smash the pedals, and that's kind of different vibe, which I totally related to.
Especially it's kind of ironic because you'd think on a platform like Zwift where it's competitive, right? I mean, there's racing, there's metrics on the screen, and you always, you'd think in like an athletic arena, there'd be a lot more, oh, well, he did this, but I can do this, but there's really none of that. It doesn't really matter who you are or how good you are. Everyone just supports each other, and I think it's a really cool, especially times like this, it's nice to have that sense of community behind you.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for us introverted people like me, where you can just with the push of a button say, all right, later dudes, I'm out of here. And basically it be on your terms a little bit, which is kind of nice for me.
That's a really weird concept for a lot of people to understand, but I understand you completely on that. I'm the exact same way. I'm the most extroverted introvert. I know, maybe I'm coming across someone that's just like me right now, but I totally agree with you. It's, my fiance always gets pissed at me because she's she doesn't understand how I like being by myself all the time, and I love alone time. I love being by myself. I could get on a plane tomorrow, go to a city I don't know, and have a great time,
Oh man. Yeah, I totally can understand that. Totally.
So when you said you were relatively new to this, when did you start streaming on Zwift?
Yeah, I think probably around the same time as you started. Honestly, I think it was early April or May or something like that was when I really started. I originally jumped on as a form of rehab for a knee surgery. And I was just like surfing through Twitch one day, and I was like, "Whoa, there's other people like who are interested in streaming this shit too." So, and it just kind of happened from there. And I found that it gave me more reason, to get on the bike and to actually like get my knee back into shape and things. And it was just like having the community, like we were saying there, just always kind of boosting you up and making you like feel like the work you're doing is worthwhile. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so I'm just sticking with the streaming because it keeps me it keeps me real. It keeps me on my plan basically. Because even if no one is in my stream, like like down in like my heart, I'm like, oh, but maybe people will want to come by one day and stuff like that. So like I can't miss streaming, so I can't miss biking. So it just kind of fit for me.
Yeah, I agree with you totally there. It feels good to like, it holds yourself accountable. You know what I mean? It kind of, even if no one's watching, you know what I mean? Like you said, even if no one's watching, it's like, I can't let them down. That's exactly. What I feel.
Oh, exactly.
So you said a knee surgery. What happened?
Yeah, it's a long-term thing. I actually have a genetic issue that causes my joints basically to not really like to hold together so well. The cartilage, the connective tissues and things are like, basically most people, you can kind of compare it to like maybe a rubber band or something like that, the connective tissues, where mine's more like chewing gum, where it like doesn't necessarily return to its, like when you stretch it out, it doesn't like stretch back. And so like I have those kinds of issues basically all over with my fingers. For example, I can like do like crazy things and like dislocate joints. I literally I dislocate joints when I sleep. And
wow.
So like my knee eventually was just causing too much grief, and eventually I had a dislocation and it didn't really go back into place. It was weird. I felt it go out and it was just like a different vibe. And then I was like, I need to go get this checked out finally. And yeah, they found huge like bone spurs and a lot of arthritis and a bunch of stuff. So I got basically the joint reconstructed without them putting in any artificial joint as best as they could, because they're like, you're young, you shouldn't be getting like a knee replacement right now. We'll see what we can do. And so they ended up pulling out a chunk of bone like the size of the last knuckle of your thumb. And I'm literally still not over it. And that was back, the surgery was in like January. So it's been almost a year. And I'm just like finally feeling like I'm probably 90% back.
Holy cow. No, is this something that you've dealt with like your whole life?
Yeah. And it's just kind of been something I've just had to deal with. And now it's kind of, as I'm getting a little older, it's starting to become a little more, I have to kind of take more focus into it, and like the therapy aspects and keeping my legs strong, my core strong, and because it's just that much easier to have those problems now. I have the same issue in my right knee. I'm actually in the process of getting the exact same surgery planned for that one as well. Probably going to happen in January again, and then it's going to be basically another whole year of rehab.
January is not a good month, huh?
Not for me, not the last few.
Oh, geez. Well, I'll tell you, man, you're honestly one of the most positive people I've ever come across, from the obviously very limited time that we know each other, from streaming, but
cheers, man.
Seriously, that's your positivity is infectious. So that's awesome that you're able to kind of deal with that and move forward and stay active, because I know many people that would use that as a crutch, or use that as a reason to sit back and not push themselves. So that's pretty damn impressive, man.
I mean, it is an excuse to do that, but it came down to like a real like profound decision coming like last December, where it was like either I really like take a hold of this, or I like resign to the fact that I'm probably going to be in a wheelchair in the next year. And so I was like, I really don't want to, if I have a choice, I'm going to try and avoid the wheelchair.
Right.
And so that's what I'm kind of doing right now, is like everything possible to keep like moving and things like that, and hopefully get back to some more endurance sports. Like I'm big on triathlon like you. I love the sport of triathlon, and I'd love to get back to that in some regard. Now, it might not be like full on running or anything. I might have to kind of find some other method to do the third leg of the race, but I don't know. I'll kind of figure that out when I get there.
That's really cool, man. I mean, I would, like do a relay or whatever. I mean, especially with the past year that we've had to freaking experience with all the races being canceled and everything. Me and my fiance love doing destination races. So, hey, man, if you wanted to do a relay, I'd be totally down for that. That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'll have to hit you up on that. That would be great. I mean, that's probably what it's going to end up having to be. I'm not resigned to, taking the para-athlete approach and getting a speed chair or something like that if need be. But, anything to keep me involved in the sport. And it's just so much fun. The passion it brings out of me and the excitement to do those types of endurance activities is just, I can't give that up and altogether.
Yeah, that's a beast that you have to unleash. You can't keep that harbored in you, right? Yep. By the way, Pimp's in the house. He's all jacked up. He's very excited.
Hey, Pimp, what's up, man? Yo, great to have you here.
But you said, so you've done triathlon before?
Yeah, I've done Olympic and sprint distance, and I'm actually looking to hopefully do my first long course this coming October. But again, I don't know if I'm signed up for one, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, real? Which one?
Santa Cruz triathlon or Ironman.
Is that by you in Monterey-ish area?
Yeah. It's that's the thing. That's kind of why I chose it. It was close to home. I could leave my house on race day. I don't have to kind of adjust to the new climate. Yeah, get a hotel. It was just it was a good kind of ease into long course. So I was yeah, if we got one close by, on basically home turf, I'm totally down for something like that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'll be cheering for you. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Cheers.
Yeah, I've never done a long course triathlon either. I mean, and my background is in football. I think you know that, and I just never had any interest in doing any long course stuff because I'm just a short little Italian Mario looking guy. You know what I mean? I don't have the build to be running marathons and stuff. But
oh man, you got those camera angles down then. I have to say.
Yeah, I'm a little guy. That's not an accident. But so I mean, you live in a perfect area. I mean, the weather really doesn't ever get too crazy cold by you, right?
No, people get upset if it's in the 50s really here.
Oh, that's
it's
great.
People are dressed in full winter gear and basically still summer weather for most places.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I started I'm from Buffalo, grew up there and moved to Texas 2 years ago. So I'm 34. So I moved down here when I was 32. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I've been here for 2 years, coming up on 3. But I moved down here when I was 31, 32. But and there was a little crossover because I haven't been in endurance sports a very long time, but I did do endurance sports when I was in Buffalo. And we have to wake up to swim, and it's 10 degrees, and you just have to dig your car out. It was just so miserable. It just the winter sucked. So it's I couldn't imagine living somewhere with the weather like that. It's just perfect.
Yeah. I got that for a couple years. I went to college out in rural Iowa, and that place gets freaking cold during the winter.
Oh.
And basically with my schedule, the only time I had to train was at 4:30 a.m. So I'd be outside in sub-zero weather, chipping the ice off the windshield, getting ready to go to the gym and go swim and stuff. And yeah, coming back here is definitely it's pretty nice. It's all year round outdoor training if you want it to be.
Now, are you from where you live now?
Yeah. I lived in Hawaii for a bit, lived in Iowa for a bit, but yeah, I came back here.
Jesus, if you want to experience the two extremes of the United States, go from Iowa to Hawaii. My God.
Oh my God. The year I was in Iowa at school, the wintertime, it was record colds, and they were comparing it to the surface of Mars. And I'm just there's probably a problem when people are comparing it to some other planet. I should probably find a new place to live.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. That's
nuts. Dude, it was crazy. It was just for about a week straight, we had negative 55 degree weather.
What?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. We
went to nationals for triathlon the one year. we're in Omaha, so driving from Buffalo, that's the last state you drive through to get to Nebraska. And I mean, yeah, no offense to anyone from Iowa out there, but the whole time we were driving, me and my fiance were just like, why would anyone live here? What is this place?
Oh man, you can't imagine. I've heard that told so many times, and I lived there, so I could totally relate to that.
So you said college brought you out there?
Yeah. There was a unique college out there that I was kind of looking into to finish my degree. So I went out there for 2 years to finish my undergrad, and before I came back here.
Very cool. So obviously, so before we started the conversation, I wanted to kind of get a high level, so when someone comes here and sees you, oh, this guy's a Twitch streamer on Zwift. But I want to go beyond that. I want to start talking about, like, what do you do outside? Because I saw right before we go live, I always like to tweet out, that we're going live. So if someone's interested, they can check it out. Or if they're scrolling through my feed, they can go back and listen to the show. But the first thing I saw is you just recently did an Alzheimer's stream. Is that right?
That was a while back, actually. They did a through Zwift. They had like a virtual fundraising effort, a few events, like fun races, unofficial races, and I think Zwift community covered it too for a while. But yeah, I like jumping in on those types of events, especially in Zwift, because they have like random things that pop up every month or so, just tours and things like that. And yeah, they did the Alzheimer's fundraising.
You know what I'm thinking of is when I searched your name, that's the first one that came up. So I'm assuming it was probably by like popularity, like most liked tweet like came to the top when I searched for you. That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And I also saw, so I've always wanted to ask you this, and I always forget on stream because when you're commenting, your photo doesn't pop up. What is your photo? It looks like you're on top of Mount Everest taking a picture or something. What is that?
Yeah, well, close. Actually, that is the tallest mountain in Europe. That is Mount Elbrus. And I did a mountaineering expedition out there in 2018. I before the lockdowns and everything happened, I ran a media production company. I did documentaries and things like that, promotion. And that was like my first real big project was that mountaineering expedition. It's actually out in Russia. And I was out there for, I think it was like 3 weeks to do the mountaineering expedition.
Wow, that's really cool. So,
yeah.
Oh my God, you just opened up a can of worms. I have a million questions now. So is that what you went to school for?
Yeah. No, dude, no. I went to school for medicine. I went to school to potentially become a doctor. I kind of had like a I don't know, coming to terms moment after graduation. I was like, I'm going to take a year off. I ended up doing a big cycling trip. I cycled from California to New York.
Come on.
Took like 5 months. I had over 5,000 miles. And it kind of just, I filmed myself. I did a vlog series on YouTube, and then it kind of was like, dude, this is fun. I want to film crazy shit all over the place.
What's so you have a YouTube channel then, obviously?
I do, and honestly, it's kind of lapsed over this last year because I haven't had any content to put on it. But yeah, I do have a YouTube channel, a couple vlog series of some bicycle tours I did, one across the U.S. that way, and then I did the Great Divide mountain bike route, which starts in Alberta, Canada, and stops at the U.S.-Mexico border, which is another like 3,100 miles or something like that. Basically over back roads and rough terrains through the Rocky Mountains.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw the photo that you sent me that we used for the cover. That was a mountain bike, and so I was wondering if there's some kind of story, and obviously there is.
Yeah. That's like I used to be a mountain biker back in the day. Now my joints don't take it the same way they used to, so I went into touring and ultra distance and those types of things, and kind of just like. Yeah, fell in love with it. Fell in love with extreme activities and being in extreme situations where you're like kind of questioning if you're gonna get out or not, and that's kind of makes me feel alive. So, then it kind of that's what ballooned into me wanting to like do a media production company
Wow, that's
and
so cool.
film documentaries and things like that.
See, I love stories like that because that just is so, to me, that's so inspiring because you know how many people will go to college and they're like, well, I spent the money to do this, might as well, get into that career. And then it's just this long, drawn out process of working some job that you don't have a passion for. I think it's crazy that we have to decide what we want to be at the age of 18. Like, that is just,
Yeah.
it's insanity. I mean, I told you, I'm 34 and I'm still just, for God's sakes, I just signed up for magic classes. Like, I'm learning to do card tricks. Like, that's like my
hell
new
yeah.
obsession, but it's just never stop learning, never stop changing. And the idea of like going massive crippling debt at 18 and decide, that's going to be your fate the rest of your life is just so crazy. So to hear people like you say that, you made that cognizant decision to, kind of change course and kind of discover yourself. I mean, that's obviously, if you're riding from California to New York and you're recording yourself, that's obviously a passion. You know what I mean? That's not something you're doing for the hell of it. That's obviously something that you really like, and that's really cool, man. That's awesome.
Well, I kind of have this vibe, like if you're questioning whether you're crazy or not when you're doing something you're enjoying, it's probably the right thing, You just, it's something that other people would just look at me and be like, wait, you're out here like in the middle of, nowhere on your bike with 100 pounds of gear. Like, how are you having fun? And I'm just like, I wish you could understand, but I don't know. That's why I always wonder if I'm just a little crazy. But we're all a little crazy, right?
That's right. That's exactly. I listen to a lot of these like motivational YouTube videos that like are pieced together from people that, other production companies and stuff. And you hear a lot of the same quotes in a lot of them. And, there's an Arnold quote, an Arnold Schwarzenegger quote, and I forget it exactly at the moment, but it's something to the effect of like, do whatever makes you happy. If people tell you that it's crazy, then you're in the right spot or something like that. It's just kind of like what you're saying,
Totally. Exactly. Yeah, I vibe with that so much. Yeah.
When someone calls me crazy, I take that as a compliment. I always say, thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Because my worst fear is being normal. Like, my worst fear is being, like, exactly average. I've had jobs where I was, my 20s were basically working office, because I'm a salesperson, so I've always gone the sales route. But I worked, 9 to 5, sitting in a cube, and that was just soul crushing to me. I just couldn't do that anymore, so it's to find passion, like projects, I guess, or like find things to do outside of work instead of just going home and falling asleep or watching TV. I always say the quote, most men live lives of quiet regret or quiet desperation. That's what it is. And that to me just seems like the saddest fate possible, and I'm always looking for that next thing to challenge myself. So I think that, and when I see that in other people, that's why I always try to surround and interview people, with your mindset, because that's, I think it's a really interesting kind of peek behind the curtain of what really makes, a cool person.
Yeah. Well, I've heard many an anecdote from, the older generations, when you ask people like that who are in their later years, like what would you want to do if you could do it again? And a lot of it's the same, is like, there's so many things that I want to be, that I'm like, that I was passionate about and I might not have necessarily pursued. Mm-hmm. And I wish I had, and I don't want those, like, I wish I had moments when I'm older,
Right. So now that, hopefully, there's a vaccine right on the horizon, or we're being told that things may get some to quasi-normal soon, whatever that means.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, right? I know, especially you guys are certainly pretty locked down in California, huh?
It's all starting on this Sunday, I hear. I actually went out and got a preemptive haircut just to be safe, just in case I couldn't get back to a salon for another couple months.
Smart, man. That's smart. Back in New York, they're shutting everything down again too, and I mean, Texas is pretty wide open still, but who knows how that's going to go. But anyway, I don't want to be negative here. But say things get to go back to normal. What's next on the horizon for you? I mean, obviously you have your race that you signed up for in October. October, you said, right?
Yeah, October.
And so career wise, job wise, photography, production, that kind of stuff. What's next on the horizon for you? Do you have any big documentaries coming up or anything?
So honestly, my passion and things have kind of been on at least around photography and documentary. I kind of had to put it on the back burner, kind of with everything going on. There's no one doing weddings anymore like that I can do photography for. There's no just group events. Things basically that photographers or videographers would be hired for is kind of out of the question at the moment. So I still have that business set and waiting, and hopefully when things get back to normal, I can get back on that. But at the moment, I'm just trying to adapt. I'm looking to start some online stores and things like that, things that can be done from home. And at the very least, if I'm able to get back into photography and videography, I'll have that as kind of like a side hustle and things. So, but it would be, I'll tell you, man, it would be nice to get my camera gear off the tripod that I'm using to stream and actually take it outside again. But
soon enough. Stay strong.
Hopefully.
Stay strong.
Yeah. It'll happen.
My what I like to do too for everyone that I have on here is I like to put links to things that you're doing, whether it be your social media profiles or, like you said, your YouTube channel or anything you'd like to, that we've talked about, send to me when we're done here and I put them up.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So they'll be, because we're streaming live on YouTube right now. I'll put them on there, Spotify, iTunes, like all the podcast apps. So all the links will go in there. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is what I like about this. And I think this, the COVID has really accelerated this community of networking and meeting people and just working together towards a common, because everyone brings something different to the table, so, me and you have cycling in common, and we found out that we have triathlon in common, but, you bring so many different unique things to the table that I want to help support you, so someone who, because actually I have friends that are from Monterey that live here, but, say they get married in Monterey in the future and, they need a, videographer at their wedding, boom, let's go. You know what I mean? So this is, yeah, see, they're pointing at you right there. But yeah, that's kind of what my vision for this is, to talk to cool people, network, and just build relationships. It's, there's too much negativity in the world, and I try to find the positivity in everything. So let's use the internet as a positive force, not a negative dividing force.
Exactly. I don't know what the future would have held if things had played out different, but I don't know if I would have probably met a lot of the people I've met through streaming that I have over the last few months, and I think it's a good thing I did. I'm glad. I'm very happy to have met a lot of those people.
Yep.
Again, just riding your bike in place indoors can get a little monotonous, but when you have some people yelling at you and trolling you in chat, it makes it a little more fun.
Yes, it does. So speaking of yelling and trolling in chat, I am doing my first race tomorrow, and
buddy.
Yeah, I got some questions. So, first of all, I'm doing the Zwift, the Tri Academy. So there's like a specific race that, like, when you go look for events, it actually says like Tri Academy race. It's like, but I think it's 12 and a half miles, I think. So it's not a long one. So give me some tips. I need some tips because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just signed up for it yesterday, and I'm like, all right, we're letting it rip. Let's go.
So it's the Tri Academy. So is it a time trial? Is it an individual time trial? Is that what you're signed up for? Or
I don't think it's an individual time trial, but I think it's a time trial. Let me see. When we pull it up right here on the old companion app, I have. Let's see. Tomorrow. At 3:40 a.m. I will not be up for that one. Let's see. Here we go. So it says the time trial is the ultimate test of your fitness. You'll race the clock on Fuego Flats. Yeah. So I guess it's just by myself.
So it sounds like you're doing a down and back on Fuego Flats.
Tempest.
Probably
Fuga.
On Tempest. Yeah. That's a popular course for time trials. I've only ever done one time trial on that route, and it was with a team, but if you're confident with your like your 20-minute, your FTP, your 1 hour FTP, if you know those numbers and you're pretty confident that those are your numbers, that all I can say is try and stick to those. And if you're feeling fresh near maybe the second half, that's when you can start putting the hammer down. But I'm a big fan of the power graphs. I don't know if you have your Zwift set up with the little graph at the bottom that shows your power zones.
Yes, I do.
As you're riding. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So basically, if I was doing a distance like that, I'd just be kind of trying to hold that yellow orange, that FTP zone, which is where I'd be holding most likely. I've seen a lot of other people kind of hold that same tactic as well.
Okay.
But yeah, man, you'll do plenty fine. You're used to being out kind of on like that time trial setting in a triathlon where it's just not worrying about other riders and anything, right. And it's all about you and the time. It's pretty similar. And I think as far as Zwift goes, those individual TT events are probably the most realistic to real world that you'll find out there, without the drafting and things like that.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, and I think you'll be really pleased to hear that Grubby agrees with you as well. He hopped on and he's listening. So.
Oh yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend over there.
Oh, Grubby, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's I think I'm going to start to race a lot more. What do you race a lot on there? Because I see you're part of a team, right? I see you racing with the team.
Yeah, I race Thursdays right now. Is about all my legs will let me do is one hard effort a week. And so I save that for Thursdays. It's the team time trials. The the World Tactical Racing League it's an organization that races in Zwift. They put on a bunch of events and things, and they do this team time trial every Thursday. And so I'm on a team with Innovation, and we race. We're called the Baby Watts team. We're not the fastest team out of the groups, but we have a good team. We have great banter between me and the other teammates. It's fun. It gives you that team feel, that team aspect to sports. But yeah, and it also gives me an excuse to just go as hard as I possibly can.
No, I love that. And I mean, there's no better way to prepare for real world racing than just, dropping the hammer once a week and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, that's the only way to really embrace that feeling. So that's and shout out to Mo Allen, by the way. He just hopped in too. Hello.
Right on.
The whole gang's here.
Hey,
the
Curtis.
Whole gang's here. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask them. So how did you get hooked up with the team that you're on?
Actually, another streamer, if you know Physique Games.
Oh yeah.
Sean, yeah, he originally raced with the team that I'm on now. We haven't had him on the last few races, but basically they had someone cancel last minute, and he was just happened to be on my stream. Like, I'll try it out, and yeah, I so far I've been really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun.
That's really neat. Yeah, the racing aspect of it, I think that's what really caught my eye, which is ironic because I never race on it. But I saw the potential when I first caught Zwift. I'm like, if all the races in the real world are going to be canceled, well, at least I can kind of scratch that competitive itch by hopping on here, And then I race. Well, I guess it's racing, but it's not like an official race. I work with Team ODZ. I don't know if you've come across.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. Yeah, I know a few of the people on ODZ.
Yeah. So Jason, Jason's my coach. So that guy is just really smart. It's like I'm the kind of person when I train, I'm a dummy. So I'm like, I can do whatever you're going to tell me, but I can't formulate my own plan. I need to be told what to do, So he's just great at laying it out for me, and I just get it done. And that's exactly what I was looking for. And just so many things happen by hopping on Twitch and just just putting yourself out there and meeting all these people. And like you said, you don't think, some of the things that have happened to you would have happened if, we didn't go into lockdown or if all the COVID, stuff didn't happen. I wouldn't have even considered streaming. I didn't even own a laptop before this all started. So
I remember those days, man, when you were first starting out your streaming. That was good stuff.
Oh my God. So I remember, and specifically you, my laptop was a piece of garbage, and it was just a train wreck. I was like filming from the side, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But like anything, it's like you just dive in and figure it out as you go. And I remember my fiance at first was like, okay, so you're just gonna be riding your bike in front of strangers in our bedroom, like what? And then she heard me talking to a guy named Pookie Butt, and she's like, what's going on in there?
Who is that? Who are you talking to?
And I always remember that. She's like, Pookie. So where does Pookie Butt come from, by the way?
Honestly, it's an evolved nickname from when I was younger, and I just thought it was so funny, like imagining people just trying to say that name every time that they're trying to talk to me. I don't know, just so far it's worked. Most people smile when they see the name the first time, at least.
I mean, it worked over here. Yeah, it definitely. You and the Grinch Dwarf, you two were like the first that like ever came on my stream. Yeah. So. Like I told you, a positive vibe from day one, man. Just always been really nice and helpful, and giving me positive feedback. So I really appreciate that. That goes a long way for sure.
Yeah. It was cool. I was just so like hungry for the content when I first. I mean, I still am. I check out as many of the new channels, and especially now, there's so many new streamers popping up all the time.
Yeah,
it's really taken off. We're seeing like real like. Pro race series now developing around it. You're seeing like top level athletes streaming. It's starting to become really exciting, having maybe 3 or 4 different camera angles from 3 or 4 different racers on a field. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You can see it starting to grow. You can see the momentum building, even from just March and April to now. You can
totally.
See it's definitely taken off. It really is. And I think it's, what I like too is I interact with like Zwift a lot on like Twitter and stuff, like and Instagram. Like they like my posts and stuff. Like then I'm a nobody. Yeah, it's cool. So it's like, well, they're engaged like that, and it's easy as the social media person clicking like, and I eat it up. But hey, it's working. It makes me feel at least like they're engaging with their community, and they appreciate the people that are ambassadors like us for it. Mo is asking, do you participate in any other sports, or have you in the past?
I was big into water polo back in like high school days. That was like, because my first like sport, my first like passion was swimming, and then when I got into high school, they had a polo team, and I was super into that until my health kind of prevented me from playing anymore. But yeah, so. Competitive swimming, water polo, and then that was most of it, I would say.
Fun fact: Pimp just said he did water polo as well.
Yeah, dude, Pimp's a great guy. It's funny. We actually have a lot of parallels in our life. We were talking about it on a stream way back, and it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. He was on the show, and he inspired me to. The day after he did the show, I went out and I did a marathon on my rollerblades, in honor of him. I was just like, and I'm all in on that. That's a cool sport too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I had a little more exposure to that when I was younger, I would have been into it too. But that actually brings me into another sport I was into. I completely spaced on it. I used to be a competitive figure skater. So basically like dance on skates with a partner, and you spin them around and shit.
Oh, you were the partner.
Well, yeah. Me and my partner at the time, we were almost national level, which was pretty sick. But then again, as the story of my life, my knees were not allowing me to really compete anymore.
That's wild, man. So water polo, swimming, figure skating, and triathlon. That is a real mixture of sports right there.
yeah, random stuff. I don't know how a lot of it happened, but it did.
So I got to ask you, in water polo, I mean, I'm a pretty strong person in general, and I'm a good swimmer. Your legs must have to be so strong to just kick constantly like that to keep yourself afloat. Like it just seems so brutal.
Man, yeah, it takes me back. The first couple weeks of training is called Hell Weeks, and it's all about just getting the body used to just extreme discomfort. And so like it's basically like military boot camp for 2 weeks, where you're basically living at the pool. It's 5 hour plus a day sessions, and it was brutal. But yeah, it was kind of a juggle, me trying to keep the love of water polo going while trying to also keep my legs working. And I made it 3 out of the 4 years of high school playing.
That's a fun sport. I mean, I like watching it for sure.
Fun.
Like in the Olympics, that's one of the sports I really like to watch.
That's another thing. It's like, even if you have no idea what's going on, the rules or anything, like there's action all the time. The longest break you get is about 3.5 seconds for a penalty. And then other than that, like it's just rolling, and it's just like, it's brutal. I mean, basically anything under the water goes. Like if the refs can't see it, then it's fair game. And you constantly see people coming out of the water with suits ripped off and just big like bruises on their legs and stuff like that. And it's just all part of the game. You don't even realize it's happening in the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that was a part of the sport. Like watching it, that's crazy. That's some pretty intense stuff going on right there.
You got to wear like 2 or 3 suits just to be safe.
Yeah, you don't want to be nude in the pool.
And that it still happens on occasion, but you try and avoid it.
Well, if you're nude, maybe no one will want to touch you. Maybe that's just a different plan. I don't know.
I don't know. I've had the opposite too. Some grabby guys out there, if you know what I mean.
Okie dokie. But with swimming, what were your events when you swam?
I was an IMer. I did individual medleys. Slowly switched from butterfly into backstroke. I didn't like backstroke, but apparently I was good at it, better than other ones. So like, I don't know. I always enjoyed butterfly, so I always just stuck to the individual medleys, all 4 strokes.
That's cool, man. I was a flyer in high school, and the only reason I liked doing it is because no one else could do it. Like, no one else could get the rhythm down.
There you go. Yeah. That was me too. It was like, it was kind of easier. Other people complained, but I kind of felt the flow of it.
Right. Yeah, I could never get the breaststroke down, the whip kick. I couldn't. My body just, for whatever reason, my short little stubby legs couldn't do the whip kick, and I did it a couple times in meets, and I got like disqualified every time. So. Oh no. Yeah. The last guy I had on the show, he's one of my best friends, and we swam together in high school. And he went I'm a sprinter, and I did the 50, the 100, that kind of stuff, and he did the 500. And our high school swim team was not very big, so we needed like every point that we possibly could, and it was funny because we were swimming another team that wasn't very big as well, so we actually had a shot to win this meet. And my friend is just such a moron. He swims the 500, and he was the only one in the event. The other team didn't even have a 500, so all he had to do was finish, right? He jumps in, and his goggles are immediately like around his neck. So
oh, no.
What he does, he takes them off, and he just throws them, so they sink to the bottom of the pool. So we just have to watch him like Tarzan swim 20 laps.
Oh, that is brutal.
So it was painful to watch. The 500 is boring to watch in the first place, let alone a guy swimming it by himself, let alone him struggling to see. But we're like, just finish, man. We need the damn points. So finishes, we're all excited. We're like, all right, man, way to push through adversity. We love it. So then I forgot whatever the race was, the next one. The race starts, and he jumped in the water to get his goggles and DQ'd our whole team for the wave.
The whole team? No.
Yes, and we wound up losing the beat. It's like, oh, good work. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a memory that I remember that would never happen in California, but I remember there was a fire drill in the middle and swimming. It was swimming a fall or a winter sport for you guys, or spring?
It was fall.
It was fall.
Yeah.
So in New York, it's a winter sport. So we were in the middle of a swim meet, and the fire alarm went off. And they were like, you can't go to the locker room. You got to go outside. So we were literally standing outside in January in Buffalo, just in our swimsuits. It was like 5 degrees. And we're like, how is this acceptable? Like, you wouldn't even let us get a towel,
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a memory that I remember just like dancing in place because my feet were on the cement. It was like cooler it felt better to stand in the snow because the concrete was like so cold. Yeah, hoping they wouldn't have the tongue effect, where you like stick to it, but it wasn't.
Oh no,
no. So you played. So the figure skating thing. How long did you do that?
Yeah, what was that? About a year and a half. I was on the first year. I competed through the sport. Basically established myself, and then the next year was like big into training for nationals, and then so I got in about half the season before my knees went out, and so yeah, about a year and a half I think was yeah.
How do you compete? Is it through like a local club? Because it's not a school sport, right?
No, no, yeah, we had a rink close by, and I honestly don't really know how it happened. I think I was just there on like a free skate day, and then I was chilling after it closed, and I saw all of the team come out, and they started running drills and things, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool.
So obviously you were a
And
skater
it
like growing up, and then it just kind of clicked for you one day. Then when you saw the
No, actually, like I saw it and I literally was like, I'm gonna try this out. So I joined their beginner lessons. Like it wasn't even part of their club team or anything. They just in the mornings they offered on Saturdays they offered like a beginner's course, like basically learn how to not fall on your ass kind of thing. And yeah, I just like I progressed to the intermediate course within like a couple weeks, and then I made the advanced course, and then I got asked to join the team after like a couple months because there's not many guys who do figure skating. For some reason I don't know why, but but yeah. So it was cool though because I immediately got to get partnered up. I got to do the partner events, which was what was like the fun thing to do. I didn't like the individual stuff, and so like yeah, my partner and we vibed pretty well, and we skated together for a year and a half, and before I had to quit.
That's really cool, man. What a story. So you're pretty damn athletic, huh? Just picking it up out of the blue like that, and then making it run.
I mean, I like doing that stuff. Yeah, it was just fun. I at the time, I don't think it was as competitive, at least for my age groups and things. So I not to talk myself down or anything, but I don't know. I guess yeah, I just enjoyed it, and I had a knack for it. But
Well, that's what makes great athletes great. Is you always an element of like I can be better, right? There's always an element like the imposter syndrome kind of thing. I get that all the time too. So yeah, I know what you're saying, man. But
and yeah, I like that whole like there till late at night, digging deep. Like when everyone else has gone home, you're still running drills and things like that. Those are the kinds of moments like that I think back to, and I'm just like, yeah, that stuff makes me like really happy.
That feeling. Honest to God. See you, Mo Allen. Mo Allen's out of here. He's saying goodbye. So bye.
Later, Curtis. Thanks for stopping by.
But that feeling, I tell you, man, there's just so many people that I don't think ever get that feeling of that grind. Like when I live on that. I feed on that. See, I'm an early riser, so I work out. I try to get to the gym by like 6 every day. And I told you I'm big on like inspirational quotes and shit like that. And there's a rock quote that I love, and he says, "I work out 2 times before most people are awake." And I absolutely love that because I lift and then I do my running in the morning. So I'm working out 2 times, before because I'm home usually by like 8:30, and then I start working. But yeah, there's something super motivating about that. Like I don't know what it is, but like when like even on a Friday, like here in Texas it's 7:30, and I'm doing a podcast. You know what I mean? I could be out at happy hour. I could be, doing a million different things, but like I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to, do my little podcast, So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. So what else don't we know about you? We said, you're the international man of mystery. We've talked primarily about sports and your job. What else we got?
Oh man, I don't know. Basically, my whole life seems to revolve around Zwift and kind of getting my hustle set up at the moment. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, who am I as well right now?
It's like a slingshot. You're just waiting. As soon as things get back to normal, you're gonna release, baby.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever been in this good a cycling shape even before like any of this lockdown. I'm definitely in. My legs are stronger than they've ever been before. So if anything good comes out of this, I guess it's that my health has improved.
That's good to hear, man. That's definitely good to hear. And with that knee issue, I mean, that sucks, but it sounds like you're working through it. I mean, you said you're planning on the other knee then.
Yeah.
January, you're probably going to be doing that.
Probably around January. I don't know. I've been putting it off honestly for months.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant thought to be like, because this whole year has literally been rehab, and knowing that I'm gonna have to do that again,
Yeah.
it's a lot to cope with, at least in my mind.
No, especially the gains that you've made, because at this time last year, you think about that. That's weird, right? This time last year, you weren't even on Zwift, right? I mean, that's a pretty bizarre concept to think about.
Again, this time last year, I was looking into wheelchairs, so that's definite improvement.
That's awesome, man. That's some inspiring shit right there. And that's I know you didn't hear the jingle when I started the podcast, but the jingle says, "Get ready to get inspired. Welcome to the Go for the Goldie podcast." So, yeah, you're an inspiring person, man. You definitely are, and I hope people can, draw inspiration and, get over their excuses, because if anyone were to have excuses, it'd be you, and you're out there grinding it every day, man. So that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. If I can inspire people to do, just one thing, just by me doing my own thing, not even trying, that's a great feeling.
That's right, man. That's right, and that's really Piney Druid says hello, by the way. So hi, Piney.
Oh, hey, Piney.
I didn't say hi. Did a guy holding a heart? And Pookie.
Oh.
So yeah. So
Aw.
yeah, nothing but love to you, brother. But yeah, that's the whole point of like why I started this. I want to talk to people that inspire, and in this time of negativity and uncertainty, people are finding ways to continue moving forward, to continue to motivate and be exciting. So that's why I wanted to talk to you, because you were one of the most positive people that I've come across in the internet so far, and
There's not too many of us.
there's not too many positive people in the internet, that's for sure.
No.
But you continue to do it every day, man, and you really are an inspiration. And thanks for coming on. And so let's real quick, so people can watch you, and so your handle's Pookie Butt, POOKI BUTT. That's your Twitch handle.
IE Pookie with an IE.
Yeah,
That's me.
KIE BUTT. And then what other links am I going to put in here? What are you going to send me, and maybe go over that for a second, just so people have an idea.
I guess I'll send my YouTube link over if anyone's interested in checking out my old vlogs of me looking completely ridiculous in front of a camera before I had any sort of like confidence around that. You could check out my old cycling vlogs, and I'll shoot you a link to my mountaineering documentary if that's something.
Oh, hell yeah! I'll be watching that. That's really cool, man. That's got to be something you're really proud of.
It's pretty cool. Now I just have to do the other 6 highest mountains in the world. Eventually.
That's easy. You got one down, so it's just down.
I got one down, so yeah, it's 6 more to go.
That's it. Just rinse and repeat. All right, man. Well, thanks for your time as always. It was nice to chat with you, and we will be seeing you on Zwift.
Yeah, I'll be there. Good to talk with you, and I'll be seeing you there too, man. Your streams have been awesome. Again, like I said, like they've come a long way the last year, and it's looking really solid now.
Well, appreciate that, brother. Nothing but love. Happy Friday, man. We'll see you.
Yeah, cheers. See you, man.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when he was gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. ye merry